I need to talk to you about something. A few weeks ago, I posted a video about massive infrastructure projects in Africa. The response was massive. Thousands of you engaged, shared insights, asked amazing questions. But there were also comments like this. Stop exposing Africa's plans to the world. Build in silence so the West doesn't sabotage us. When you've watched the West interfere in African affairs for centuries, when you've seen coups, sanctions, interventions, the instinct to protect our plans, to move quietly, to not alert the enemy, I understand where that comes from. But today, I'm going to show you why that instinct, however understandable, could be one of the most dangerous things for Africa's future. Because the real threat to Africa's development is not people knowing about it. It's people not knowing about it. Let me start by sharing this. If you're worried about Western interference in African development, you are not being paranoid. You are being historically accurate. The CIA in Congo, the destabilization of Libya, sanctions on Zimbabwe, French military intervention across the Sahel. For decades, whenever an African leader tried something that threatened Western interests, there were consequences. So I understand why some of you think if we just stay quiet, maybe they won't notice. Maybe they will leave us alone. But here's what I need you to understand. They already know. Every major infrastructure in Africa, every dam, every railway, every port is known to Western intelligence agencies even before any African gets to hear about it. They have satellites. They have diplomats embedded in every African capital. They have business intelligence networks. They monitor contract announcements, feasibility studies, diplomatic cables. The idea that Western governments don't know about Africa's development plans, that's not how geopolitics works. So if they already know, who are we keeping these plans secret from? We are keeping them secret from us, from regular Africans, from diaspora investors, from citizens who could hold their governments accountable. Let me show you what I mean. Here's what actually happens when African countries try to build in secret. A government signs a deal, let's say for port or railway, without full public disclosure. Citizens don't know the terms. Diaspora can't offer input. Civil society can't provide oversight. What happens next? Inflated contracts, kickbacks, poor planning, badly negotiated terms. The project either fails or succeeds, but leaves the country drowned in debt nobody saw coming. Take the Mombasa-Nairobi Railway in Kenya. Built with Chinese financing, $3.2 billion. When it was first announced, there wasn't full transparency about the terms. Cost overruns, debt service eating into the national budget. Questions about whether it will ever be profitable. Now, I'm not saying the railway was a bad idea. Kenya needed better infrastructure. But if there had been more public information from the start, more security, more debate, more diaspora input, maybe the terms would have been better. Maybe the cost would have been controlled. And maybe the route would have been optimized. Secrecy didn't protect Kenya from Western interference. It protected bad deals from Kenyan scrutiny. Now, let me show you the opposite. Let me tell you about Ethiopia's Grand Renaissance Dam, a $4.8 billion project, one of the largest dams in Africa, entirely financed by Ethiopia itself, including diaspora bonds and domestic taxation. Egypt opposed it. The United States applied pressure. There were threats, warnings, diplomatic tensions. Ethiopia built it anyway. You know why? Because Ethiopians knew about it. They understood it. They supported it. The government was transparent about the plan. Ethiopia bought diaspora bonds. Citizens contributed. and the diaspora rallied support internationally. When external pressure came, Ethiopia could point to popular support, not just government support. The people wanted this. That's what transparency gives you. It doesn't expose you to sabotage. It rather creates domestic legitimacy that makes sabotage harder. Look at Rwanda. Paul Kagame has been increasingly transparent about Rwanda's development plans. Vision 2020, Vision 2050. The entire world knows Rwanda wants to become a tech hub, a business-friendly destination, a knowledge economy. Has that exposure hurt Rwanda? No. It's attracted investors, brought in partnerships, created accountability mechanisms, built international confidence. So why does transparency work? Because modern development isn't a zero-sum game anymore. And this is where it gets interesting. Here's what some people miss. The Cold War is over. The world in 2026 is not the world in 1976. Back then, Africa had two choices: align with the West or align with the Soviet Union. There was no middle ground, no alternatives. Today, China, India, Turkey, Gulf States, Brazil, Russia, Japan, South Korea, Africa has options. And when you have options, transparency becomes your weapon and not your weakness. When Rwanda says, we want to build this tech hub, they can play partners against each other for the best deal. China offered this. What can Europe offer? India has these terms. Can the US match? But you can only do that if your plans are public. If it's secret, you are negotiating from weakness. One partner, one offer. Take it or leave it. Plus, Western powers have their own competition now. They are worried about China's influence, about Gulf states buying ports, and about Russia's military presence. So they've got a handful. You think the West wants to sabotage Africa's development plans and hand more influence to China? They are competing for partnerships now and not trying to keep Africa down. The game has changed, but here's the real reason transparency matters. The biggest threat to African development isn't Western sabotage. It's African corruption, bad contracts, inflated costs, projects that never finish, infrastructure that falls apart in 5 years. Look at most African roads, for instance. You know what I'm talking about. 5 years is the most you could have to notice potholes around. Despite the inflated cost, the real problem is we have leaders who sign deals that benefit them instead of their countries. And you know what stops this? Informed citizens. And that's why we are trying as hard as possible to get Africans to be informed about projects in Africa. When people know about projects, the terms, the cost, the timelines, they can ask questions. Journalists can investigate. Civil society can monitor. Diaspora experts can input. Citizens can demand accountability. That's what protects African development. Not silence, not secrecy. Scrutiny. Think about it. Scenario 1. A government announces major infrastructure deal. Full transparency, details public, terms disclosed. Citizens debate it. Experts weigh in. Diaspora engineers flag potential issues. Journalists investigate. The government is forced to defend their decisions. Now, scenario 2. The deal is secret. Announced after it's signed. Citizens discover later when they are paying the debt. Which scenario produces a better outcome for Africa? This is why channels like Africa Today exist. We are not exposing Africa to its enemies. We are exposing African governments to their citizens. And that brings me to what we are really doing here. When we started this channel, we had a choice. We could make feel-good videos celebrating Africa's potential without context. Or we could do the harder thing, which is to show you how power actually works. The contracts being signed, the interest at play, the strategies behind the headlines. If you notice, we've labeled our geopolitical videos the strategic lens, that is going beyond the headlines, right? Not to scare you, not to expose us to sabotage, but to educate you. And that's why you will notice that on the channel, we don't limit ourselves to geopolitics. We've got actually business videos that could guide you on how to invest your money properly in Africa, right? How to attain financial independence by investing in the right businesses in Africa. This is simply because we have a mission of making Africa great again, or a better place, right? Now, we've noticed that an educated diaspora makes better investment decisions. An informed citizenry demands better governance. A knowledgeable public can't be easily manipulated. That's a real threat to bad actors, not Western governments, but African citizens who know what's happening and can hold their government accountable. Look at what happens in Kenya with the Gen Z protest. Young people educated themselves about the finance bill, read the actual documents, understood the implications, organized, mobilized. The government tried to pass it anyway. The people stopped them. That's what informed citizens do. So when you ask me to stop exposing Africa's plans, what you are really asking me is to keep you in the dark so that they can operate without scrutiny. I can't do that. I understand the fear. Africa has been burnt before. We've seen interferences, sabotage, betrayal. That trauma is real, but hiding in 2026 doesn't protect us. What protects us is building while the world watches, and doing it so well with such popular support, such good governance that it becomes unstoppable. When Ethiopia built its dam with full public support, external pressure couldn't stop it. When Rwanda publicly pursued its development vision, it attracted partners instead of enemies. When Kenyan youths understood the finance bill, they changed government's policy. That's the model. So no, I won't stop analyzing Africa's developments. I won't stop breaking down the deals, the strategies, the opportunities, because the goal isn't to hide from the world. Because the goal is to make Africans understand what's happening in Africa more than anyone else. So here's what I want from you. If you've ever worried about this channel exposing too much, tell me why in the comment section. Let's talk about it. By the way, we are planning on starting this 2026 to go live on the channel, right? Because we've noticed that a lot of you try to get to us all the time, but it's practically impossible because we communicate with the general public just through emails, right? And most of the times the emails are handled by our assistant, and we don't have that opportunity to get in direct contact with you and exchange directly, right? So we thought it wise to start a series of live streams wherein we could come and exchange personally. That's, you ask your questions and we answer them directly. So if that's something you would love, please let us know in the comment section as well. And in the meantime, if you understand why transparency matters, please help me explain it to others. Because Africa's future doesn't belong to those who hide in the shadows. It belongs to those who build in the light, with informed citizens watching, learning, and holding everyone accountable, including us. That said, thanks for watching this video, go getters, and I hope to see you on my next one, as always.